Welcome to our podcast, Inspiring Living, with me, Mark Candelaria. I am an architect, blogger, traveler, chef, father, and husband. I am the founder and now partner of a fabulous 20-person architecture firm specializing in high-end residential architecture, designing amazing homes across the country. We have hosted tours over the last 20 years to Italy, Spain, and soon Napa. And in the course of all this, I have met a lot of interesting people who truly inspire me. We are excited to now be in our second season, and our podcast is about all the opportunities that are right there in front of us to inspire living. Yes, we will talk about architecture and design, but every week we will venture to all sorts of topics that will inspire you, teach you, and motivate you to inspire living every day. My guests will include a wide gamut of amazing people, from those in the design industry to clients to real estate professionals, chefs, artists, sports figures, and philanthropists, and people who just flat out get it. So sit back and enjoy, and let's have some fun exploring all the opportunities that are there just waiting for us. Please subscribe and get ready to be inspired every week. Okay, as my dad says, here we go. Welcome, everyone, and thank you always for tuning into our podcast. I'm back in Greensboro, North Carolina, after being here just a few weeks ago for market and checking on a project here. And then this time it's just work, as we had 2 intense days of framing, lighting, and millwork walkthroughs with the design team, including my Candelaria design associate, Damon Wake, interior designer Anne-Marie Barton, and her design assistant, Hannah, and builder Tim Glenn and his crew, Blaine and Tyler, who we had a little time at the end of the 2-day session to grab some good barbecue. And of course, that's the way you wrap things up here in the Carolinas. And boy, was it good. We had a great time and a great productive trip. Such a fabulous project. Check out our social media for some great drone footage we captured of the home under construction. And Damon and I head back to Arizona tomorrow morning, bright and early. And so we're looking forward. It was beautiful here. We had perfect weather. It was beautiful fall colors. So I'm getting my dose of fall between Oregon last week and the Carolinas this week, virtually going coast to coast. But it's just been absolutely beautiful. When we get back, we will be excited to host one of our spectacular Candelaria design homes in the Phoenix Home and Garden magazine tour set for this Saturday. The home is featured in the current issue of Phoenix Home and Garden magazine, and it will be on the VIP tour, where we will be cooking paella for 200. Of course, I never do anything small, right? And so I encourage you to get your tickets right away, because I think it's almost sold out. It may already be sold out by the time you hear this podcast. This will be a fabulous tour featuring several spectacular homes designed by a whole slew of different architects around the valley. Our home has lovely interiors by Averill Interiors, and the home was built by the Allen Companies. My associate, who was spearheaded this whole project, Tim Mathewson, will be there on site, along with some of our Candelaria design crew to help me with the paella. So we should have a lot of fun. The link to get your tickets is on our webpage and in today's podcast story notes. But like I said, please hurry, because I think they're almost sold out. I want to also thank my co-host, Renee D. of Iconic Life magazine and Adobe Road Wines for collaborating with me on our Candelaria design crew for a fabulous 5-course meal we prepared and served at our Candelaria design offices this past Saturday night. We had a great time, and it was truly a magical evening. So thanks to all who attended, and I look forward to more of these elegant dinners and evenings, of course, in Candelaria style. Okay, last week Isabel and I got away, as I said, for a few days in one of our favorite spots to rejuvenate and relax, the Willamette Valley of Oregon, and the venue for our 2022 Candelaria Design Oregon Pinot Tour. It will be our 20th tour overall, with the Spain tour set for June 2022 and Italy in September. We have booked the entire Black Walnut Inn just outside of Dundee, Oregon for our 5-day tour, and guess what? We are sold out. The tour is done, folks. We are sold out. If you're interested in going, let us know. We'll put you on our cancellation list, but I'm pretty sure the group we've got slated to go is all going to make it. We've got a great group of people. I am so excited. It's going to be so much fun. And like I said, we got the whole hotel to ourselves. So it's going to be spectacular. So thanks to all of you who have signed up, and you're all in for just an amazing 5 days. It's going to be a fabulous tour, and our grand finale evening will be dinner at Rosemarino Osteria Italiana in Newberg, Oregon. And the founder, owner, and head chef of that restaurant, Dario Pisoni, is my guest this week. This guy is amazing. He was born in Italy and self-taught chef, with the exception of a little grandma's help with her recipes. His restaurant is rated one of the top restaurants in Oregon and the entire country by Open Table, just 4 years after opening it in 2015. He is truly inspiring, and I so invite you to enjoy this podcast with my new good friend, Dario Pisoni of Rosmarino's. Today I have a new treasure my daughter Tiffany found while exploring the Oregon Pinot region for our Candelaria Design Tour Oregon set for May of 2022. Today I have Chef Dario Pisoni, who is the owner and head chef of the amazing restaurant Rosemarino Osteria Italiana in Newberg, Oregon. I have had the pleasure of dining here now a couple times during including last night, where we enjoyed an incredible 5-course dinner and wine pairing with my grade school friend Steve Hammond, who lives near Portland. He and his wife Laura came down. I think they came down a day early, but Dario was kind enough to point out that they were a day too early, and they came down and joined Isabel and I for what was simply an amazing evening. Thank you, Dario, and welcome.
Thank you, guys. Welcome, welcome to Rosmarino again.
It's fantastic. I'm still relishing the fantastic dinner I had Saturday night. It was amazing.
Thank you.
So we were supposed to fly out of here in about an hour. And about an hour ago, we got notification from American Airlines that our flight's been canceled. And now we're not leaving till Wednesday. So we get 2 more days here in this beautiful region that we've just come to call home.
That's perfect. At least there's more wine to taste. There's
more
so many things to
tasty.
discover here.
Exactly. So thanks for kind of adjusting your schedule a little bit. I know I interrupted your lasagna making, which looks amazing.
Lasagna always take time, so there's always
they
can rest.
Okay. You all know how much I love to cook, but this guy is at the top of the top when it comes to this profession and passion we both share. Of course, I have had some amazing Italian food across the world, including, of course, in Italy. And I have to say, your recipes are off the chart. They're simply amazing. Like, even last night, or the other night, I was just totally blown away.
Thank you.
I mean, the portions were small. I know you gave everyone, it was a 5-course. You didn't want to fill everybody up and stuff everybody. But each portion was absolutely perfect, and the pairings with the wine were stellar.
Thank you. We try. We reduce lately the portion because some people were giving up at the third one in the past. So they said maybe a pinch less, a touch less,
a little
food,
smaller, yeah,
and same amount of wine. So the wine stay the same.
Yeah,
these people can enjoy more. We try to recreate what grandma and what is the real Italian cuisine. And there's so many dishes that.
And that's what I like about it. Like when I go to Umbria, into some of the little farmhouse type restaurants, out on the beaten path. They're not fancy, but the food is so earthy, it's so good. You can tell like everything was just picked from the garden virtually that day.
Yeah, it's Italy has this beauty of thousands of years of cuisine, and mostly when people ask me where I have to go in Italy, I say just grab a car and get lost.
That's
the best part.
That is the best
Get lost. You will find always something to eat. There's always trattorias. Find trattoria and osteria. This is what you want to eat in.
Yeah.
And there's always grandmas cooking, or they pass the recipes back to the grandson, granddaughter, daughter, and stuff like that. So there's always this uniqueness of the regional cuisine that only in Italy, I think you can find it.
Yeah.
France too, maybe.
And Spain too, I've
and
noticed.
Spain too.
Yeah, each region is almost like its own country. I mean, when you look back at Italian history, they were all individual countries for thousands of years.
Yep. We are younger than America as a country.
Isn't that crazy? I know people don't realize that. They think of
our
Italy
history
in total.
is super old, but as a country by itself, we are younger.
Yeah. And there's a big difference in the cooking and the cuisine between southern Italy and northern Italy.
Yeah,
right?
It's completely different.
Completely different.
2 different worlds, tomatoes.
Right.
Everybody is asking me. Everybody, like first-timer diner that are normally used to American Italian cuisine, they ask me, there's not enough tomatoes. But the thing is, we don't use tomatoes in our cuisine.
No.
The tomatoes in the Milanese cuisine arrive in the beginning of 19th century. So it's kind of young.
Right.
And I try to explain, but some people are... And they don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear that. They want to think pizza, and they want to think pasta.
Yeah, they want to think marinara sauce that we don't call it like this.
Yeah.
It's always this teaching. It's a teaching curve for me. I'm trying to fight my own little war
Yes.
against the stereotypical Italian food in America, and try to give what is really the most regional. And doing the 5-course dinner is helping a lot because they give us freedom to cook.
Right.
We're not we have our a la carte menu, but again, it's we try to give a panorama of the Italian pasta dishes.
Yep.
Again, cooked in a real northern Italian way.
Right.
So it's but there's so many things that we can showcase, and they're much better than the classical thing that people know.
Sure. It's pretty much endless, isn't it?
There's no end.
There's no
Because
end.
every we have souvenir of any invasion that we had, and that they left us product, they left us things, and
Yep.
and then we go back up to the Etruscan, and before then in Sardinia we are civilization 4,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's the cuisine in Italy was
It's been going on
was
forever.
there.
Yeah, no, that's what's great about it. That's what I love about it. So give my listeners an overview, Dario. Tell me first about your restaurant here in Newberg, Oregon. Why Newberg?
So when we opened the first location, we were located on a farm called Abbey Road Farm, and we opened in 2015. And we
Okay.
opened like this, more or less like a bet, a game. It was like, oh, look at these. We were the only 2 customer in this. They have grain silo suites, so refurbished grain silo in
Cool.
beautiful rooms, and we were the only 2. It was my wife's birthday, and she decided for something with a lot of wine, no phone connection, and then some isolated places, and found this place. We were the only 2. It was low season. It was April, and with the owner of the old owner, because the farm got sold in 2018, and we take a tour of the farm, and he opened the door of this place that it was called Agrivino. It was born in 2008 as a unique tasting room, but again, it was not used at the time.
Right.
And he opened the door, and you always have this sensation, feelings, butterflies. I say, this can be like a little agriturismo. And
Yeah.
And so my wife said, don't even think about it.
That's the first thing that came to my mind as you were describing it.
And after 3 months, we opened. What was June 2015, and we begin like this. We decide to begin to do the 5-course wine pairing dinner with the Oregon wine. We add slowly some Italian wines, and like this. 2018, the farm got sold, and we had to find a new home in Newberg. So we were thinking about Carton. There was one place that we were looking for to rent down there. We were thinking about McMinnville, and after you say Newberg, and one of our customers, it's our landlord, had this building here, and it was completely remodeled. It restored it completely. It take out the bricks that was covered by plaster.
It's beautiful.
And it's a 1920 wall, so it's the original wall of the building.
Right.
And it was several times. Oh, you should come to Newberg. And at the end, Newberg didn't have any Italian restaurant, so
Perfect.
the choice was easy.
Well, it's nice too because it's on this road, which is right on Main Street. But
Yep.
you have to kind of drive by it, and it's like, okay, well, let's plan our departure so we can stop at Rosmarino's
Yeah.
on the way to the airport. So we
We are
love it.
we are at the entrance of the valley
Yes.
for people who come to wine tasting.
Yep.
And then we are at the exit of the valley for people who are done tasting.
It's perfect.
So it's
Well, we're going to put our final night, I believe, of our May 2022 tour is going to be right here.
Beautiful.
For the grand finale. Because based on what I saw Saturday night with not only your cuisine and wine and pairings and all that, but your presentation of how you describe each course and your energy and your passion, that's what I'm talking about. That, to me, is the whole deal.
Thank you.
I absolutely love that. I know my travelers are going to just be thrilled to finish up here. So I'm very excited about that evening. I know that's a long ways off, but I'm already thinking about it. So let's go back to the start. Where were you born?
Born and raised in Vaprio d'Adda.
Oh my gosh, where's that?
It's near Milan.
Milan, okay.
So my family, we are really on the border of the 2 provinces of Milan and Bergamo.
Okay.
We were living in the Bergamo province, but the hospital, the closest one, was in the Milan province.
Okay.
So I was born in the province of Milan, Vaprio, and it's separated by the Adda River.
Mm-hmm.
from Canonica, where my father was born and my grandparents are from. So we are this influence of the Milan cuisine and the Bergamo cuisine. It's already there, two different worlds of cuisine too.
Interesting.
And I was born there 40 years ago this year, and November 11th.
So your birthday's coming up.
It's coming up.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Thank you. And we're having...
The big 4-0, huh?
Big 4-0.
Wow.
We have the big bottle up to open.
Oh, there we go. I might have to extend my flight a little longer.
There's enough wine for everybody. And so I was born there, and after with my family we moved to Piemonte, and my family lives in Alba, so that it's a culinary destination and a wine destination for a wine lover, for the Barolo, Barbaresco,
some of
Nebbiolo,
my favorites.
Barbera, the truffle, white truffle from Alba, right in season now. Hazelnut with the Nutella, the Ferrero factory, they give chocolate and happiness to everybody.
There you go.
So sometimes when you arrive in a town, I say to the people, if you go to Alba and you park the car, it smells like chocolate. the town smells like chocolate because the factory is in the center of the town.
Oh, that's beautiful. I've never been there. I'll have to check that out.
And my mother owns a bed and breakfast down there.
Okay.
So you should go to
no,
see.
you're hooking me
Follow
up.
the
I love
family.
it. There we go. I love it. So okay. So you get this. You described how beautiful this is over in Italy. How in the heck did you end up here?
My wife, she's from around here, but technically from Vancouver, Washington.
Okay.
And after we move out, when we opened the first location, we move out 1 year after. So we opened 2015.
But how did you get from Italy to America?
So I always work in hotels and resorts.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't in the kitchen part. I was more in the entertainment part.
I can see that.
Was the guy with the microphone in the hand.
Yeah, you feel totally comfortable here
on the stage and the things and jumping all over. and my wife came in vacation there. She's from Vancouver, Washington, and she had free drive-through coffee shop in the Vancouver area.
Okay.
So she was taking a little break, and they came in the resort where I was working. So.
In Italy?
No, in Mexico, in Cancun.
Oh, okay. How did you get to Mexico? How did you leave Italy? Why did you leave Italy?
So I left Italy when I started to work in hotels when I was just before to finish high school, because we were doing stages in hotels and resorts for the school. So I loved so much, and when I was 20, I started to work in Greece, and I lived 6 years down there. And after I moved to France, and I work and lived 4 years down there, and after I moved to Mexico, and
in Cancun.
I was living in Cancun. I had my little apartment. So I started to work for this big resort, and I met my wife, and 10 months later we got married.
Wow! So she was down there vacationing, or what?
Oh, she came vacationing.
How did you guys meet?
Yeah.
Come on, tell me the story.
Well, I was the guy that was in the center of the under the light. So, and she was she always a shy person. She doesn't want. Also during the dinner, you see,
she's just working behind the scenes.
Yeah,
you're the star of the show.
No, I like her. I like to hug everybody.
Yeah.
I hug everybody. She's like, no. So she's always in the. For this, I have to introduce her much better at the end of the night.
You did a great job, I thought. So,
So
you guys met in Cancun, and then she talked you to coming back up here?
Yeah, so we met in October 2013, and after we start to speak and stuff like this, so she came back just before Christmas, and the same 2 months later.
Yeah.
And after I came to visit her in February, and when I went back, I said, okay, it's time to leave again. I packed all my stuff, and I moved to Vancouver, Washington. And I was waiting for my paper, and I start to help her out, just logistically do the supplies for the coffee shops.
Yeah.
And start to train my English a little bit better.
Your English is darn good. I mean, it's very good.
I have to, because she doesn't understand me again. Try sometimes to play my accent.
That's funny.
Thicker. And after, when I got my paper, I start to work as a server in Portland, in downtown Portland, in the Pearl District. From now very good friend of ours. His name is Davide. He owns Gallo Nero.
Okay.
And I worked there. And after 6 months, we opened Agrivino.
Huh.
And
That went fast, though. So it went very quickly.
And it was like this. Because my wife was asking me, so what do you want to do? I was like, one day I love to cook, so I was cooking for her, for the kids and stuff like
Right.
this. Because Sheena has 2 kids before ours, and I always I say, here's the lasagna, and everybody says, those lasagna are not what we eat here. So those are the real lasagna.
Yeah. It's amazing. Where did you get your love for cooking? Where did it begin?
My grandma.
Your grandma. Well, that's where all good cooking begins, right?
It's always like this, because I spend a lot of time with my grandma, and my paternal grandmother, was a very good cook, and very simple, very
that's a
pure
Italian cooking. It's simple.
Pure Milanese cuisine.
Yep.
And I always loved the flavor that she was putting. They were unique, the very balanced, not too salty, not too spiced, like the perfect thing.
Yeah. Well,
and I always
you learned well. Let me just put it that way. You learned really well.
And I love to eat. When I grew up with my cousin, and my cousin was like the no eater one, and I was eating my parts and his parts.
Yep.
And my grandma and my grandpa say, I was like, watching you eating make us envy to eat again. And I always love food.
I've never met a food I didn't like. Let's put it that way. I like everything.
When I was young, maybe I skipped some plates, like tribes and things like this. And
I love all of that.
When I was going a little bit older, I tried again. I say, why I didn't eat this before? The palate change, and you get a little bit
more sophisticated, and you're just open to more ideas.
And
so have you ever been professionally trained, or did you learned it all on your own?
It just homeschooling.
That's amazing. Well, that's same with me. So not in cooking and architecture.
But I think sometimes it's better.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you next. What's your thought on that? I mean, I see a lot of kids that go to these amazing schools. They pay all this money in tuition and blah, blah, blah. Don't you think there's a lot of jobs available to kids that don't need the $60,000 college education?
I think it's the best way. Mostly, starting from my perspective, I had someone who were giving me because I think cuisine is more a souvenir.
Mm-hmm.
So the flavor has to be respecting one idea that you have in the mind. Like we can learn to cook Mexican, French, and Swedish, any kind of cuisine you can learn, but you will not match what the real flavor are because you never leave them.
Right.
And this is the most important part. I think you have to spend years and eating in a family and eating with old, rustic made cuisine to understand where are we going with this flavor.
Right.
Because this is I can cook one thing and tell you, this is Italian, but you don't know. It's that's good flavor, but where it come from?
Right.
It come from just inside here. And
right.
The thing is like this: schools are good, mostly for technical part.
Yep.
Knife skills, butchering, and again, I will suggest people maybe to go to Europe, spend 1 year, work in a butcher. You will get yelled, you will get screamed, but what you learn. My father was always saying, we had a factory of plastic when I was young, and he was saying, I don't teach you nothing because it's useless to spend words. I can tell you, okay, I'm doing this in this way, but it was one sentence is impara l'arte e mettila da parte. So you learn the art and put it apart.
Yeah.
And just watching.
Just
sit down there.
Put it to work.
When you see older people working or experienced worker, just watch what they're doing, how they're doing, why they're doing,
right,
and try to understand from there. This is the best part, I think.
Totally. I mean, like I can sit there and watch someone make, a skilled person make pizza, not only from just making the dough, but then rolling out the dough, throwing the dough, layering the sauce. I mean, it's a whole art. It's just beautiful. It's a manual movement. It's muscle memories that you don't know how they. It becomes subconscious, doesn't it?
It go by itself.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about it. And I compare cooking to so many different arts. I just had a great podcast with a painter, and there's so many similarities between all of the arts.
Oh yeah,
painting, cooking, architecture, music. They all use the same skill set, just in a different medium.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about it. So, what have been some of the challenges and joys of owning your own restaurant? The restaurant business is a tough business, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the challenge is, well, there's not a lot of free time. You are always connected to something. There's always something to do, something to cook, something to prepare, and
A podcast to squeeze in.
you squeeze podcast in, and the phone it's always ringing.
Yeah.
For this, I flip it because it.
You do a great job. I mean, we reach out on Instagram together, and you're very responsive. Not that I want everyone to invite you to Instagram because Dario's going to have 45 messages to respond to. But yeah, you're. What I love about you is you're so personal. You know,
we try.
I feel like I'm part of your family when I come here.
Everybody is part of my family because you're supporting my family. Coming in is not I don't want to people think that you are a number.
Right.
After they unpolite, yes, and we don't want them anymore. But the good people, the people who appreciate the hours of work that is behind what they're eating,
right?
Because everything here is handmade.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of.
You make everything from scratch.
Yeah. Everything from scratch. So it takes time. It takes labor. And when they don't understand where they come from, how much time we spend to do this, like Sunday, it's our pizza and gnocchi day. Pizza and gnocchi has always been, since the first location.
Yeah.
Sunday it was, I always eat gnocchi on Sunday. And I eat pizza every day, but we are trying to do what we do on Sunday here because it was kind of calm.
Yeah.
So we decided, let's do pizza gnocchi like this. Something
again.
It was a nice another bet, another joke. Let's do something like this. So it was born like this.
Yeah.
It was born from a joke, and now it's like we cannot take it away because people want
love
the pizza gnocchi and pizza gnocchi.
They wake up Sunday morning. The first thing they think of is, it's pizza gnocchi day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
and
so cool.
we have our style of gnocchi. They are not big. They are super small. Is a typical style that we have in the north that is called chicche di patate. So super.
It's almost like a spätzle.
Yeah, look like we roll it super thin and we cut it very small, so they are not even. They look like like a jelly bean.
Yeah,
like size of a jelly bean.
Interesting.
So they're like this. They're not getting too starchy. They are not too doughy. They load much more sauce, and there's water.
Yeah, so you're killing me right now because you're describing this amazing gnocchi. You're describing all this great food, and at the same time, there's not smell-o-vision on a podcast, but it smells absolutely amazing in here right now.
Now we're preparing you a little soup.
I smell rosemary. I smell all these great flavors. It's fantastic. I got to make sure I do more podcasts in restaurants. This is just awesome. So
the lasagna just came out from the oven.
Yeah, well, it's. I saw you back there making it. It's pretty amazing. So, what does your day start like? What time do you get started in the morning?
5:30 in the morning.
Yep.
Come in, bake the bread. We make our homemade bread. Again, following a very simple recipe. We are not looking for super fancy bread. It's a big loaf that in the northwest it's called mica. So it's very simple white bread, fluffy, delicate, but enough to sponge some olive oil and balsamic while people are waiting, waiting for the pastas. And after from there, while the bread is raising, we are doing other stuff and we start to get ready for the lunch if it's a la carte dinner or start to break.
What time does your crew arrive in the morning?
I have one guy coming in at 7 o'clock, and the other guys come in 11 and 12, and the dishwasher starts to come in at 10 o'clock, because by then it's
there's a lot of stuff
full
already.
of pots and pans, and it's a long day.
So how many people are on your crew in total?
So we have 4 chefs and 4 dishwashers that rotate through the shift, and plus me in the back.
That's a lot. That's not a lot to get as much done as you do. I mean,
there's not.
We cook a lot of dinners for our clients, and I got a crew of 3 or 4 people, and we're just doing one dish, So to think that you get that much accomplished with that small of a crew, it's good organization. I know how much organization it takes to do that.
They're very good cooks, so I trust them a lot.
Did you train most of them?
No, they came more or less with already our base training or their training, but after on the Italian way, yes, we are still there's so much to.
Yeah, you're constantly learning, right?
We're always thinking, oh, no, don't do this, don't do that. But just try to do this in this way, because
So how did you guys make it through the whole pandemic? I was here last year. I think last year was the first time I was here.
Yeah.
And you did a great job. You had the patio going outdoors. It was beautiful. Did you have to close for a while when the pandemic first hit, like back in March of 2020?
We never close.
Good for you.
We are stubborn here.
Good for you.
We we could not afford to close.
Did you get help through the system? The
We got the PPP loan.
PPP, that's it.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing. And we got, I think, a county grant
Oh, okay,
just
good.
for extending the back patio,
Yep.
and that's it. So for this, my kitchen staff, the chef part, it's on salary. So they were like, guys, we're getting paid, and the fear was around
Yeah.
because we didn't know what was at the
Yeah,
beginning
no one
and
knew
stuff
what was
like
going to
this.
happen. How long was it going to last? No
Yeah.
one had any idea.
So we say, till when it doesn't hit us directly, we go ahead.
Yeah.
And what we did, okay, people cannot come in anymore, so we switch it up. We did, we revolved the menu in a to-go style, and inside here was more like a Home Depot than the rest. It was cardboard boxes, to-go things and
That's
stuff.
good. That was smart.
And Easter was coming in, so we decided to do a 4-course dinner to go with instruction how to reheat. And like this people could have the same quality of food at home. But cooked here.
So are you still doing takeout?
No,
No.
we don't.
Is it a lot of work?
It's a lot of work. It takes away a lot of space, and we need one, maybe 2 people more in the kitchen
Just to do that.
to do that.
Wow.
But the to go was up till the beginning of this year. After when we opened completely, we left it to go. Some people ask to go, and so what we do now, we sell our homemade pasta and our sauces that people can cook at home.
Nice.
We sell if we have some lasagna ready to bake at home.
Yeah.
And this is the to go that we dessert, gelato. Those are easy.
Do you make your own gelato?
It's our friend Emilio.
Okay.
Emilio is from Firenze. He has 30 years in the gelato business.
That's awesome.
He has a little business that supply restaurants and like businesses. So he doesn't have a retail,
Yeah.
but it's the best gelato you can find.
So I got to try that. I love gelato. I mean,
Gelato's good.
and when I go to Florence or San Gimignano, I know where all my favorite little gelato spots are.
Yep.
So when I go there, it's like the first thing I go is going to get gelato.
Gelato's good. And any season.
Any season.
If you're cold, you eat a gelato, you're hot. Because you bring
Totally.
down the temperature.
Totally. So we know all the restaurants are having trouble now finding labor, and the supply chain issues are been a challenge. How are you getting through all this? Are you able to find people to help? Are you having trouble with supplies and materials and ingredients?
So, find people to help. Yes, there's a problem. Again, I told you we are still looking for people.
Yeah, it's
Now-
tough, isn't it?
Now we are getting close to the end of the year for us, so we close for the winter break, and we decide don't even stress about. I told to my guys, the last 2 months, let's put it on the shoulder. We can do it. And for the supply chain, for us, we are using mostly Italian product, and we are not at the moment.
It's been
we are
good
not,
getting everything.
We are not feeling any shortage
That's good.
because we still have a
Good stock.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now I learn my things and I start to as much space as I have. I try to stock as much as I can, mostly for flowers and stuff like this that they have a long expiration date. So
Yeah. Well, you gave me a good tip Saturday night. I love to make risotto. And so I'm switching from arborio rice because it is very
Yes.
starchy
Yep.
to the
carnaroli.
canroli. Well, I already ordered a whole bunch on Amazon.
Good.
So I found that the supplier that gets it from Italy is in Tempe, Arizona. So I'm
nice.
like, I'm going to reach out to these guys and get it directly from them. So thank you for that tip. I'm going to be making it this weekend. So
You will see. It change
change
your game.
I tasted it Saturday night. I'm like, this tastes amazing. I like the texture. It's not so starchy and doughy.
Yep. It's now as much more al dente,
Yeah.
more firm, more
Yes.
nice bite.
I have to try it for paella. Do you think it would work for my paella? It's kind of same deal,
it's
right?
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'll give
Because
that a shot.
mostly paella, when you have all the different ingredients, the different protein inside, if you use a rice that overcook fast, some of the ingredient has to arrive to the cooking point again,
Right.
and you will see you will have a very with the carnaroli to be another beautiful. You have still an al dente point,
Right.
rice with all the ingredient cooked.
Oh, that's awesome. That's exactly where I've been missing it. So that I think you gave me a great tip that night. So thank you. So in 2019, so you started this restaurant basically in 2015, right?
Yeah.
So 4 years ago, that's 6 years ago. But in 2019, your restaurant was named one of 4 Oregon restaurants to the Open Table Best Restaurants in the Country list.
Yeah.
And there were 4 only in Oregon, and you were one of them.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean,
Thank
from a
you.
guy that started a restaurant just 4 years before that, you're named to this list in the entire country.
It was
Were you surprised?
I was surprised, yes. And in 2018, we were the only one.
You're the only one in Oregon.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was like, what's going on here? Why? What happened?
I can tell you why.
And I don't know. It's always nice to see recognition, people enjoying the food and enjoying our style of serving the food, try to, in Italy when you eat, there's always laughing around the table.
Yeah.
So if we can serve and give a couple of words to make people feel better, feel comfortable, relax, let it go, because some people when they go to the restaurant sometimes are too stiffy. They're there in their corner, and and now unfortunately with this pandemic, if we were coming in 2019 during the 5-course dinner, it was a unique big table. It's a family style seating.
Oh, interesting.
Like grandma table, so everybody was speaking, laughing. So many people.
You met people. You didn't know who. You didn't know who you're going to sit
you
next to.
never know who was next to you.
Yeah.
Some people are they don't like to speak. They will not speak. But
Right.
a lot of people, I saw them coming in, met each other here,
Became
and
friends.
come back as a friend.
Yeah,
and this is the best
awesome.
part.
That is the
And
best part.
It's like and the best souvenirs in Italy. It's always around the table.
Right. So your goal is probably to get back to that once you can.
Yeah,
I guess.
Once I can do it again, we will go back to the
Yeah.
family style.
So how many people did you serve Saturday night?
43.
43.
43 and 43 because we are 2 sitting.
Oh, you're 2 seating. So like what time?
One was at the one we have one earlier sitting at the patio.
Okay.
Outdoor. Doors open at 4:30.
Okay.
And dinner started at 5.
Wow.
And it was 43 people. And after the other dinner, we finished the dinner toward 7 o'clock.
Okay. Was it the same menu both dinners?
Yeah, for Saturday, same menu for both sitting, and at the second dinner start at 7:30.
Gotcha. And that's the one I was at, which was great, because then you were done after that.
And after, time to finish up a couple of things, and I'm getting tired after 15 hours.
No, I hear you.
The knees start to feeling on the knees.
Yep. So every Saturday you do this. Is it the same menu every Saturday, or do you mix it up every week depending on the ingredients?
So we have two 5-course dinner a week. Friday it's with Oregon winemaker.
Okay.
So Oregon winemakers dinner on Friday, so 2 sitting there, and Italian wine pairing dinner on Saturday. Every week it's 2 different menus.
So you change it up every week?
Yeah, every week.
Because you get bored.
There's always something to say. And
you want to try new things,
yeah,
right?
we have to. Because if not, whenever you do the same thing over and over, you're too confident.
Yeah.
And you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. I love that. So do you experiment then on your own, or are you brave enough to experiment with one of these dinners?
No, I experiment right on the dinner.
You do it right at the dinner?
Yeah.
You'll say, let's try this tonight.
Yeah.
Has it ever not turned out to your satisfaction?
Sometimes. Sometimes. Maybe I'm not completely satisfied because they're missing maybe one note.
You're
or
your
stuff
own
like
worst
this.
critic, right?
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
And
I can always
sometimes
think,
I
I
change
could do this a little better next
at the
time.
last second. I had to change it. It happened. Man, not very much. Maybe 1 or 2 times.
Yeah.
But for the rest, I like. We have so many wine that we can use in Italy, and if the wine that I choose to pair with the dinner, I taste it again at the beginning of the day with the dish, and if it doesn't work very well, I had the chance to switch up or modify
interesting.
or add, take away.
Yeah.
And this. But I like I like the idea that it's a show
Yeah.
and
Well, and it's very
and
informative.
it's live.
It's informative to the person that's sitting there, especially if you're a foodie. You know, I was sitting there just absorbing everything you were saying. So I love the way that you introduce each course and each wine pairing. You tell a little bit about the history of that dish, a little bit about the background on the wine, the region. I just found the whole dinner just to be very, very enlightening and very informing and very entertaining. I mean,
Thank you.
It's just awesome. So that part was great. So what's your favorite thing to cook and eat? And do you have a favorite ingredient?
My favorite. There's a lot of dishes that
It's endless, isn't it?
Okay, unfortunately, some of them I cannot cook them because I'm missing some parts that
Oh,
are
interesting.
only
You can only
available
get
in
there.
Italy. But I love the braised meat, the wild boar. It's one of my favorite meat.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we had the Cingala here Saturday night, which
Yep.
was fantastic.
Thank you. And I love pastas, lasagne. I cannot eat them every day because when I eat the lasagna, I need to take a nap. Lasagna. My grandma was cooking lasagna 2 times a year because it takes time.
Yeah.
So it was just Easter and Christmas.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes in the middle if there was maybe a birthday or stuff like this. But I remember my grandmother was kind of seasonal. Like during this period, favorite thing to cook was this pumpkin patties. Or we can call them meat, but they're not meatballs. So they're more like a patties. So it's ground pork with a potato inside and roasted pumpkin,
Wow.
spices, herbs, and after shape like a patties and pass it through the egg, the flour, and the breadcrumb. So and after slowly fried. And
sounds amazing.
when you eat it, is nobody ever had them.
Yeah, and
And,
totally different flavor.
And I served them sometime for a 5-course dinner during this period. Well, we served them. 2019, we were open for Thanksgiving.
Huh.
So I did them for Thanksgiving as a second course. And it's very unique because it's savory, but it's sweet at the same time. And
Yeah.
it's good.
That's always the good combination, I think. So do you have a favorite wine?
Yes.
I mean, here you are in the heart of Oregon country, but I know you're from Italy, so I know you probably have a little bit of a mixed conflict. Yeah, I go through that now because I've grown to love these wines in this region so much, but I still love my Italian wine, so I'm usually mixing them up a little bit.
I love Amarone.
Yeah,
I think Amarone, it's a multitasking wine. But living in Piemonte, of course, the Nebbiolo, the Barolo, but they are a little bit more difficult to understand sometimes. And sometimes people are not ready for.
right.
They're going for the name because they heard it and they want to try it, but
Right.
it's a wine that it needs a little bit more attention on what you're eating with because it can clash. Amarone is more multitasking.
It's just nice, smooth wine.
Yeah, it's very rich.
Yeah.
It's very bolder.
Yeah,
And,
that's one of our favorites. What about here locally? Not to put you on the spot, but
No, there's several wineries. There's a lot of wineries that they do beautiful wine.
Yeah.
After, I have to go again. My favorite wine go with the weather and go with my mood. So, like when I feel super happy and motivated, I have to go for Amarone. If there's like a grayish day like this, Amarone it doesn't go. It doesn't go in.
interesting.
So it will be more like a Barolo or a Nebbiolo that I
Yeah.
grab this little bit more drier, more close.
Right.
It's I'm a meteoropathic.
That's funny. So you probably have a great relationship though with some of the vineyards here in the region, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of friends that
Yeah.
owns vineyards and stuff. Because having the chance to do a lot of winemakers dinner, so once a week, we can create much better connection with them.
Yeah. So you showcase local vineyards.
Yep.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, we host the dinner on Friday with the winemaker or the very high part of the winery. They are here with us, and they speak about the wine. I speak about the food. So it's like a double.
That's perfect. So yeah, I'm pretty sure every time we come here now, you are on our itinerary, if not one night, 2 nights. So
Thank you.
Yeah, it's that good. I'm just telling you. So do you have a favorite chef or cooking show or cookbook? Do you watch the cooking shows?
So, what I like to see, also if it's old now, but I like and I always love Gordon Ramsay,
Oh yeah.
but mostly because of his style to say the things.
Yeah.
Very colorful.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why he go to save always Italian restaurant. And there's it make me laugh because we don't eat these things. This is not Italian,
Right.
or it's a very from one part that is not mine.
Right.
But in the world, I think, well, of course, I give an eye on the Italian chefs. Well, Bottura, it's always on top, and it's a very he had a lot of courage to switch up the classical,
Yeah.
and he brought it up. So,
Interesting.
and another one that I like, it's Cannavacciuolo,
Mhm.
Antonino,
Huh.
is from Naples region, I think,
not familiar
and
with
he worked a lot in the north of Italy, so
Okay.
he got this influence from his region with
Yep.
the cuisine of
So a
the
nice
the
mixture.
sea and the seafood and the southern Italian flavor, but it got also influenced by the northern Italian and that he loved a lot.
Right.
And
So you're watching. You're looking at.
I-
You're
I
looking at
watch
things. What
some,
about
yeah.
books? Cookbooks.
cookbooks, I never read a cookbook.
It's hard to read them, isn't it?
It's I sometimes I
I have a bunch of them, but I swear I probably have only seen maybe 5% of them.
the one that I read, it was on pizza.
Yeah.
It was made by this Neapolitan famous pizzaiolo,
Huh.
or this lady that went to Naples and they spoke directly with this pizzaioli. And then when I was in France, so it was written in French.
Interesting.
And but from there I learned how to do something on the pizza,
Huh.
and that was brought our pizza to be what it is now.
Interesting.
And this is, I think, the only book that I
that
read.
you read. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty good friends with Chris Bianco down in Phoenix. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's an amazing pizza guy, amazing chef. He's been on our podcast, and I'll have to send you his book because I think
Yeah.
I think you'd find his personality and your personality very compatible. You guys are both just amazing guys. I would love to introduce the two of you
Yeah.
sometime. So he's a very
To be
very
good.
special
To be nice.
friend. Yeah, great chef. So real quick, how often do you go back to Italy?
So normally once a year, because we close always the restaurant before Christmas for the winter break.
Okay.
Here in the valley, it goes like the life of the vines.
Yeah.
So in the valley in the winter it's kind of getting calm.
Yep.
So we had the chance to be able to close, take vacation, and we create wine tours.
Nice.
We bring our customer. I told you my mother owns a bed and breakfast, so
Yeah.
we have it as a base for our group. It's
Sign us up.
maximum 7 couples,
Awesome.
and we have our own little private bus.
This
and
is in December.
mostly January,
Oh, January. Oh, that's even better.
because between the Christmas time in Italy, it's all closed.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've been there Christmas.
Till January 6th
Yep.
is the last day.
It's a holiday. What is it? The Epiphany.
La Befana.
Yeah, La
L'Epifania.
Befana. Yes. Yep.
And from there, so normally we arrive just after the 6th. It's a 11-day tour.
Oh, that's perfect.
We visit Milan. We collect all the people in Milan. We go to visit Milan and bring people to visit the Last Supper of Da Vinci,
Yeah,
because it's one
been
of
there,
my
seen
favorite
that.
painting, and the Duomo of Milan, because they have to watch
Fabulous.
one of the most beautiful cathedrals in the world.
Yep.
And I'm very patriotic.
Milan is
I'm very
fantastic.
patriotic.
Yeah, no, Milan is a great city. We go there for the design show
Yeah.
in April.
Yeah.
And
Salone
it's
del Mobile.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous. So then from Milan, where do you guys go?
So like the last one we did was we collect the people. We didn't visit Milan right away. We visited Milan the day after. So we went to visit Carnaroli rice farm
There
to
you
let
go.
people understand. And it's the same one that the same rice that we are using. So we
Huh.
went to visit the producer, and it's a beautiful 1800 red brick farm in the
Wow.
middle of the full plain of land there. You should go because
Yeah.
it's unique.
I would love to get the connection on that.
And after the rice farm, the owner of the rice farm cooked for us the Carnaroli. She cook. They have this unique reserva. So what they do, they age the rice even before touching it. So they harvest it and they put it in these silos for 1 year and a half for the
Wow.
normal one, and they have also a reserva that takes 7 years of aging. and it's unique.
So it's like wine.
They're like the geek of
That's
the rice.
amazing.
And she cooked for us the 7 years rice, and it was beautiful. So I stick to this brand now because I
You're
know
loyal.
I went
You
there
know
and I
it.
see what's going on. Again, I thanks for the labor that is behind the product.
Yep.
So after this, we went to visit a barrel production, Gomba, that is famous in the north of Italy. They supplies one of the bigger winemakers in Italy. So we went there, and after we arrived home. And the evening we spent the night to a small producer of in near Alba, who is a family friend, and his mom, she's 80 and more years old, and she's still cooking. So she cooked this beautiful tajarin with the meat sauce, and
I love that.
And we were like 16 people, and we had like more than 20 bottles of wine plus grappa and plus things. Maybe next time I will not do it the first day because a lot of people give up the day after. But the day after was difficult. And after we visit Milan, and after we visit salumi production near Alba, and we take the bus and we went to the Alps in the Valtellina region to taste another style of Nebbiolo. And after we push ourselves to the Prosecco land, so close beautiful. To Treviso, Valdobbiadene.
I've been through there. Love it.
Coming back, we stop always in Fumane. There's a little bed and breakfast where we stay, and they also have a little restaurant on property, and they cook beautiful Venetian cuisine.
Wow.
And of course, in between we had wine tasting here and there. There's always wine, at least 2 wine tasting a day.
Yeah.
And on the way back, we stopped to the Garda Lake near Sirmione, where there's one of my favorite white wine to taste. And coming back, we go back to Piemonte, and we go again more wine tasting. So more or less, it's like a culinary wine tour because we let people taste and food that is regional.
Right.
I don't go for the classical one.
Yeah.
I go really for the regional. So
Yep.
for this, I don't give any menu to the people.
Yep.
Because they don't need to know what's inside.
I've learned that the same thing. Just show up and
because
let
if
it happen.
I tell you that in Veneto, in Valpolicella, their cuisine includes braised donkey, you will never eat it.
I don't think I've ever had the braised donkey.
I should go because it takes beautiful 7-8 hour of braising. It's braised in Amarone wine.
Wow.
It stay at least 2 days soaking in wine to take away the gaminess. So at the end, it's just beautiful.
Amazing. Yeah, I've never seen that on the menu, so we'll have to try that out sometime. But I'd love to go to this tour. It sounds fantastic. So, one question I always have for chefs: does anyone ever have you over for dinner?
Yes.
They do?
Yeah, but they're like scared. I say, well, no, don't be scared because I'm not a judger.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to judge anybody. And mostly, if you take me away from cooking and do the dishes for one night a week, I'm happy. And I like you cook, I bring the wine.
There you go. See?
And I bring wine.
So people need to invite the chefs to dinner. Don't be afraid of them.
Yeah.
Right?
No, because if you want to invite, it's not to showcase your culinary technique. It's just to share a moment,
right?
And share.
Give you a break.
Give us a break and drink wine and enjoy a night and speak and laugh and jokes about everything. It's not and we're not there. If we're invited somewhere, if I had to go in a restaurant, and also again, the same thing happened when I go out and I pay for dinner. I'm not there to write any review.
Right.
If it's good, you will get a beautiful review.
Right.
But if I'm not happy, I'm not the kind of person who destroy a restaurant because I'm not happy.
How hard the work is.
I know, and there's always a variables in a restaurant. It can be a staff problem. It can be a supply problem. It can be
things happen.
Moods.
Yeah.
Moods. You can feel the food through the moods too.
That's so funny. So what's ahead for you and Rosmarino's? Any special events or plans or cookbook, cooking show? What do you got going on?
I don't know. I have to find Well, I had to find more stuff first.
Well, you got the personality to do a cooking show for sure. You'd be awesome.
If people want, like, we can try to do it.
We should
And
do it.
it to be with the one with the subtitle underneath.
Well, it'd be fun to document your tour, you know.
Yeah, I should try to make.
We have to talk about that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. So we could do a little. We could mix a little architecture into the cuisine.
Yeah, mostly. Well, when you go in Italy, there's architecture.
everywhere.
It's fell from all over. There's arts in any corner.
Yep.
Also, the smallest town has his beauty, his style.
It's endless. That's the other thing I tell people is don't just get locked in on Rome and Florence and Venice. And go try the little villages. You'll be blown away.
I say all the time. So when I ask, where are you going in Italy? Oh, we're going to Florence, Rome, Venice. I say, okay, but a part is free.
Yeah.
So I say all the time, oh, you're near Venice. Go to Verona.
Right.
Verona is beautiful.
Right.
Verona, it's beautiful.
Well, it's like here, go to Portland or go to Newberg.
Yeah, the same thing.
I wouldn't have found you if I just went to Portland.
But no, people are stuck with this idea that we have only 3 towns in Italy. Well, some people push down to the Amalfi Coast.
Right.
It's very renovated and it's beautiful.
But there's
so
much.
many.
Oh.
So many. If you want to go to the sea and you want to see the Caribbean in Italy, you go to Puglia. You can go to Calabria, Sicily, Sardinia. Those are amazing, and the food is good.
The food
is crazy, and because every region is a different one.
Yeah, Puglia is high on my list. The next place to go. I've just been doing the north lately, but now I want to go down to the arch of the boot. And the heel of the stiletto, as you said.
The stiletto, Puglia.
The Puglia, yeah.
Puglia is beautiful. Puglia has the best olive oil you can find.
Oh.
The focaccia pugliese, the bread is typical from there. Altamura. After you can go to the Trulli of Alberobello that is protected by UNESCO too. And the people are beautiful. The sea, the wine.
That's the one thing I love about Italy is the people are just so nice. I mean, just you do always feel like you're part of a family when you go to Italy. It's my favorite thing.
Yep.
As opposed to a lot of other countries. So
it's our
So I know we have our Candelaria design tour set for May 2022, and I know this stop will become one of my travelers' favorites. And I think I'm pretty sure we do have it set as a grand finale evening. What other type of events do you have on the calendar in the works? You have some fun things in the works?
No, for the moment, no.
You're wrapping up for this year.
I'm wrapping up for this year. Normally, it's 3 years that I'm not going back to Italy, so we decide to leave right away.
Yep.
After the last day, it will be Sunday, the 19th of October.
So you'll start thinking about all your creations for next year now.
Yeah, I have to go to Italy just to find, just to retaste things and revisit the cuisine and little trattorias and
traveling is the best, isn't it? Does it reinvigorate you?
It's the best thing.
It's the best thing. So how do we connect with you, Dario, and where can we find you?
So we have all the social media. So we have Instagram.
Your Instagram's great too, by the way. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you. I try during the pandemic. I was doing a video during the lockdown, doing a video about what we are having on the menu as a special stuff like this.
Yeah, that's good. You got to keep doing that. I love watching you cook and doing things. It's very entertaining.
Driving, not driving. I have to put the video on. And my wife's like, you cannot do it when you're driving. So it's not on my hand.
Yeah, be safe. Be safe, my friend.
I'm not doing it for this. I stop.
Yeah. So check it out on Instagram. I know you got a nice website. And I think you can subscribe and you can subscribe for the newsletters to keep update with the menu that we are serving to the week. There's a calendar with the winemaker dinner. And well, I encourage anybody that's in the Oregon Pinot Country, McMinnville, Dundee, make this one of your stops because you will thank me forever. It's a lot easier than trying to fly to Italy right now. Just fly up here to Portland, drive to Newberg, have dinner. You can fly home the same night if you have to. But I'll tell you what, you will thank me. It's like transposing yourself to Italy in a heartbeat. So great job.
Thank you.
You're a great cook. I really appreciate that. Now you can get back to making lasagna, okay?
Let's go.
Thank you, Dario. That was such a fun podcast. And if you are ever in the Willamette Valley of Oregon for wine tasting, I strongly encourage you to book a reservation for this restaurant. It is off the charts, amazing, authentic Northern Italian cuisine, and I almost guarantee you will meet Dario. He is everywhere. He's serving. He's in the chef. He's on the cook line. He's all over. The guy's high energy, and of course, I love stuff like that. So, okay, so stay tuned as we have some fun podcasts in the works, including more podcasts with artists, chefs, and a couple MVPs. Yeah, a couple MVPs. So stay tuned. Okay, I want to say a big thank you for the subscribes and reviews. Please take 5 minutes to give us a review. And if you do, we will enter you in our drawing where you will receive free round-trip airfare, not to Oregon anymore because that trip is sold out, but for our Candelaria Design Tour, Spain or Italy. Seriously, you cannot lose here. So go right now and give us a rating and a review along with a subscribe, and then email or direct message me that you did so, and we will get your name in the hopper for this drawing. We do our best to inspire living in everything we do, from our podcast to our cooking classes to our tours, and of course, with our Candelaria Design homes. Okay, have a great week, everyone. Hope we see some of you at the home tour this weekend, and let's stay safe, and let's all live our lives with love, compassion, grace, and positivity. See you next week. Because Inspiring Living is all about the people and the organizations that inspire us, we are excited to have Monogram Appliances as one of our sponsors. Anytime we do a new kitchen or a kitchen remodel, Monogram Appliances are what we recommend to our client. Their appliances are the definition of luxury, meticulously detailed using the finest materials and an ownership experience that is second to none. This is how Monogram is always thinking ahead and inspiring and elevating the kitchen experience. Because at Monogram, they don't just elevate one thing, they elevate everything. I want to say a big thank you to my good friends at Stockett Tile and Granite Company, where your project is our priority. I want to thank the Stockett team, along with so many others who contributed to the success of our fabulous demonstration kitchen in our new Candelaria Design office expansion. You will have to check out online our video cooking classes, and our kitchen is amazing. I've had the pleasure of working with the Stockett team for nearly 40 years on many spectacular projects, and trust me, they are the epitome of excellence when it comes to tile, marble, and granite work, bar none. Their skill and customer service is impeccable, and the bottom line is they are just good people. I have traveled with and dined with and just had good times, both personally and professionally, with Dave Stockett and his lovely wife, Becky, and they are the best. When it comes to your next tile and stone project, make sure Stockett Tile and Granite is a part of your team. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed our podcast. We encourage you to write a review, screenshot it, and share it with your friends. Please instant message it to me and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We thank you for listening, and we look forward to sharing more insights to inspiring living next week.